Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with a tier list creation and this is also done by nominations that you guys have given me, and it's been a while, I'll say this it's been like more than 1 month, and now I'm finally here, and yeah, I'm going to make the ultimate husbando tier list. Now obviously, like I said, I was actually doing like this tier list kind of thing weekly, but then I had to stop for a moment because I had quite a few things come up, and I was a little bit busy then, obviously with a lot of other things. A lot of other videos came, like, like I had to do, for example, Fate Grand Order, the game that I play. I had, like, it's like events and everything, so I was kind of busy with all of that, so I wasn't able to make the tier list. Now again, I'm a little bit free, so like, like I'm here with this. And then next week, I don't know if I'll be like, I'll probably not do a tier list next or the week after that, because I plan on doing a tier list which where I'll talk about all the animes that I've watched this season, all the seasonal animes and everything, and I'm going to tier, like, put them on a tier list. Someone commented this to me, that something like, oh, why not make a tier list for all the seasonal anime that you watch? And I thought that's a good idea. So I've still not finished watching all the seasonal anime. I will probably, however, it'll take me at least 1 or 2 weeks after this. So after that, I'll make a tier list like that, where I'll talk about all the previous seasonal anime that I watched, and I'm going to, like, kind of list them in a tier list type of way. So before that, I won't do any tier list. After that ends, I'll again, like, begin, like, with the tier list and then with the nomination thing. So yeah, all right, all that out of the way, let us begin with the ultimate husbando list. And as you can see, these are all the characters, all the nominations. I have added a few characters of my own in here. For example, I think I've added Yami. I've added Yami. I've added Okabe Rintaro. I've added, I think, Emiya. Where is Emiya? Yeah, there you go, Emiya Shiro. Takasuryuji I've added. I've also added Ashala. Now for Ashala, however, I know he's not an husbando, but he's one of my most favorite, male characters. That's why I put him. And there's also another character, I think someone commented. I don't remember which character it is, but I've not put him because I've actually not watched the show in itself. Oh, from Aoharu, right? A male character from Aoharu, right? I've not watched Aoharu, right? So that's why I've not put him in the list, because I obviously, like, show that I've not watched, I cannot judge the characters there. So there you go. So yeah, let us begin then. So we begin first with oh, okay, the tiers, like, is obviously Ultimate Husbando, S, A, and B. And yeah, obviously these are all really good characters. That's why the tier list, the ranking doesn't go below B. So yeah, something like that. All right, let's start then. The first character is Sebas from Overlord, and I like him. I like him very much, but I wouldn't say that he, like, in my books he's okay. Like, he's in Overlord, we've seen him, and he is a character who is one of the morally good characters in Overlord. And unlike, all the other characters who has, like, who are like, who have morally, like, in a different manner. Even Ainz himself is morally in the gray zone. However, Sebas is a morally good person, which in itself makes him quite special in Overlord. Not only that, like, yeah, he's a really nice character. So let me put him in the tier, and then I'll talk about him. I'm putting him in the A tier. Like I said, he's a good character, but for me, he's all right. He's a decent character. And now, what I like about him, I have to say, I love the whole the old man butler kind of characters. I just love them so much, which obviously Sebas is like the person, perfect representation of that. He's like an elderly man with like a beard and like a mustache, and he's like a butler. And yeah, I don't know why, but I really love these type of characters. Like, these characters are usually badass, like whenever you see an old man in anime, oh boy, they either are like packing like a lot of muscles underneath or they're like some kind of a, like, master something of something. And like, it's crazy how old men are just so overpowered in anime. It's like, like, except a slice of life anime, I've never seen an anime where an old man character is actually weak. I don't think I've seen any. Like I said, except slice of life. Slice of life anime old man characters are, like normal characters. But other than slice of life anime, be it shonen, be it something else, oh boy, old man character. They're just something. So yeah, Sevas is a perfect representation of that. Like I said, in Overlord, he is the morally good character, which makes him quite special. And he's a nice gentleman. He looks a little bit like, kind of all the time. He's kind of, his eyebrows are like this, so he looks like, all the time it looks as if he's pissed, but he's not. He's a nice guy. He's very kind and he's a good character. So there you go. Tier A for him. Sebas from Black Butler. Now, like I said, there's a few animes that I've not seen. Black Butler being one of those shows. But why did I put Sebas here? Is because I know about him. Like Sebas is extremely popular. Sebastian, sorry, not Sebas. So I'm also going to put him in the A tier because even though I've not seen the show in itself, Sebastian's popularity is immense. Like, I think everyone who's watched anime, even though they have not watched Black Butler, they're pretty much accustomed and knows about Sebastian. So I also know about him, and I've seen a few of his clips. He looks like a cool guy, a cool dude. I think I'm not quite sure. I think he's like a demon or something. I think so. Like I said, I've not seen Black Butler, so I have no idea. But yeah, like from the looks, appearance, and his personality, looking and judging it from that, I'm putting him in the A tier. That's why, okay, you know what, I'll put him here in this side, because technically I've not watched Black Butler. So I wonder if, I've watched this show, maybe he would have gotten a little bit higher rating. But yeah, just from his appearance, from his characteristics, and from his mannerisms and everything, from little bits and pieces that I know about him, is a solid A tier. And yeah, so there you go. Like, nothing else I can talk about because I don't know anything about him. All right, Usui Takumi. Takumi, I have to say, I'll have to put him in the S tier because I think I've said this multiple times in other videos, but I usually don't watch shoujo anime or read shoujo manga because of heavy drama and stuff. But I remember watching a few shoujo animes that I really liked, one being Kaicho wa Maid-sama. And I have to say, I usually the characters in shoujo anime, I really don't like them that much. But Usui Takumi is a big exception, I have to say. I really liked him, like his character in Kaicho wa Maid-sama. I also remember reading the manga as well. I think I read it almost till the end. I know the manga has ended. I think I read almost till the end, and I think I didn't finish it, most probably. But yeah, he's a really good character, from everything that I've seen, and I've read the manga. And he's the only, I feel like he's the only character in shoujo anime that I liked. Only like one of the only male characters that I liked. And there's also another character who I think is in this list as well. Where is he? Oh, this guy. Yeah, this guy here, Suna. I think he was also a good character. I'll talk about him later on. Suna comes from Ore Monogatari, and Usui Takumi comes from Kaicho wa Maid-sama. Both these shows were the only exceptional shoujo shows that I really liked, because I don't usually read or watch shoujo anime and manga. So that's why obviously Usui Takumi actually is quite high in my book, and that's why I've put him in the S tier, because he's really one of the exceptions. Because usually these type of characters who look nice, and these type of shoujo male characters, I'm not too much into them, because the way they're always all the time sparkling and everything is really not my thing. But I feel like Usui Takumi is the only exception, because I genuinely liked him. I really liked him when I watched the show. And yeah, that's why he's actually quite high in my in my list. So there you go, S tier. I really like him. So that's it. And he if you've seen Kaicho wa Maid-sama, Kaicho wa Maid-sama is a really good show. And the manga as well, it has such a unique unique plot, I have to say, of how what was her name, the girl's name? Misaki, was that her name? I forgot her name. who's does like a part-time job in like a maid cafe. I think as far as I can remember, while she's also the student council president, that whole little twist thing, and he's the guy, Usui Takumi is the guy who only knows about it, and like he kind of teases her about it and all that stuff. Like I don't know why, but I really like the plot of that shoujo show. I think it also has drama. I think in the manga later on, in the later portion, there comes a little bit of drama, which I don't usually like, but I guess it's okay. It's not that much heavy on drama as far as I can remember. That's why I really like this show. But yeah, there you go. Usui Takumi, S tier. Ooh, Kiritsugu. I will put Kiritsugu over here. Just a second. Yeah, Kiritsugu. From Fate Zero, and Fate Grand Order. Alright, Kiritsugu is a character who is, oh there you go, ST, I forgot to mention that. Is a character who interesting. He's an interesting character. I feel like as a husbando, he's really good. He probably would score a lot of points. But since the show Fate Zero is like that, we never saw him actually showing his qualities as a husband because he's like an assassin kind of person. So there you go, that kind of a thing. But I think in Khaled Liner we do kind of see him actually as a family person. And obviously later on when he in Fate Stay Night, when he takes Shiro as adopted him, we can also see him being a nice a nice father figure or a grandfather figure, whatever you would say. But that's why I'm saying he as a husbando, I feel like he would be really good. Unfortunately, the show in itself takes out all that possibility because he's all the time fighting and everything. As a character, like I said, he's quite an interesting character because his morality is quite interesting. Like he's one of those characters who sacrifices the the lesser amount of things to gain a better result. What do you call that? Sacrifice the less to get a bigger a better conclusion. So which is something that we barely see in anime characters. Usually in anime, especially shonen, most characters are like, oh, I'm not going to let anyone die or let anyone sacrifice anyone, I'm going to protect and save everyone, which is obviously most of the time it's kind of unrealistic. But Kiritsugu here, where obviously Fate Zero being the show, that show being like that, is quite dark, so that type of mentality doesn't work over there. So he is one of those characters who sacrifices the less to save more, like sacrifice 2 to save billions, that kind of a situation he is. And which kind of his morality is kind of interesting. Like later on we also kind of see in Fate Zero where the the Grail shows him those visions, how his morality also has its fair share of flaws as well. And as a character he's quite interesting, and like I said, as a husband I feel like he would be really good. Unfortunately Fate Zero takes that possibility out completely. But yeah, there you go, S tier. Miyamura, I think that's his name, yeah, from Horimiya. Horimiya, I've not actually watched the full show. I think I started reacting to it and I kind of stopped. I don't remember when and why. But Miyamura, I'll put him in the A tier. I'll put him here. Where is it? As far as I can remember, I liked him. I liked him quite a bit, from the little bits that I saw of him in the show. And yeah, as a husbando, I feel like he's perfect. But I'm putting him in the A tier because, like I said, this show, not show, sorry, this tier list, it will be like a mixture of my personal preference and and husbando points, that kind of a thing. So I'm pretty sure you could say that Miyamura would probably be in the S tier if you only judge him by his husbando qualities, because he's in that department I think he's really good. But like I said, husbando points and my personal preference, those two are mixed here. That's why he kind of went in a little bit low, because I heavily prefer Kiritsugu and Usui Takumi over him. My personal preference. Obviously, from husbando points, I feel like he reigns on top. So let me make that clear. And yeah, that's why. And I myself have not seen the show that much. Like I said, I've not read the manga as well. So maybe if I actually did that, he would have probably went in a little bit higher. But from the little that I've seen of him, he's a really nice character. And I feel like Horimiya is another, I think Horimiya is a shoujo, isn't it? Yeah. I think so. I'm not quite sure, but I think Horimiya is another one of those show which doesn't have that much drama, because I've seen, like, like I the manga, like, and I've heard that this is a show or a manga where characters, I think these two, Horimiya and Miyamura, and the girl, I forgot her name. Her name was Horimiya, wasn't it, or something else? I don't remember. But anyways, no, I think the Horimiya is like a mixture of both of their names. I forgot completely the name of the girl. But anyways, Miyamura and that girl, I think they kind of get together quite quickly, as far as I remember, hearing from everyone, which would obviously kind of take out a lot of dramas. Like, I'm not saying like even after getting together there won't be any drama. There might be, but I'm just saying, like in shows or in manga where characters get together quickly, like 50% of the drama is lesson. So that's why I think this also has quite a less amount of drama. But yeah, 8 year, solid 8 year from what I've seen of him. He's a really nice guy. Okabe Rintaro, oh raw boy, here we go. Ultimate Husbando. Oh, Okabe Rintaro. Like I said, this tier list is a mixture of my own personal preference and Husbando points. I'm not quite sure how he'll do as a Husbando, but as a character, Okabe Rintaro is one of the ultimate beings in the anime, in anime in itself. He's one of the ultimate beings. This guy is something. Like, I have to say, like, I don't remember if I actually talked about this, but Steins Gate is a show, and Okabe Rintaro is a character who is just perfect in all forms. Because I remember, this show does weird things to you, Steins Gate, like Science Gate, the show in itself, it actually gets a good conclusion, but Science Gate Zero is a show where everything kind of goes in a bad direction, but in the end we see Okabe kind of jumping back from that. All those memes of I'm a sad scientist now, from mad scientist, I'm a sad scientist, that kind of, those memes I remember. That's what happened in Science Gate Zero. He went completely depressed. And I remember, when Okabe jumped back to his previous Chunibyo form, the amount of joy it gave me. Like I said, this show does stuff to you. Like, this is one of those shows where it's crazy how Okabe, I feel like 50% of the credit that goes to his character is Mamoru Miyano, because Mamoru Miyano does his voice acting in such a great way that, Okabe Rintaro is just too good. This guy, whenever you see this guy jump back to his, a Ho in Kyoma form, it gives you such a boost in confidence, as audience, when you're looking at the show in itself. I can't actually say, or explain the feelings that you get when you watch this show and when you watch this man. And people who have not watched Steins Gate, I don't think I'll be able to explain the feeling that you get by looking at this guy on screen. You have to watch the show in itself. I'm singing huge praises of him because Okabe Rintaro is one of the best characters. Anyways, so there you go. That was my praise for this guy, because he's top. He's one of the best characters. And anime, we see everything in the anime. I have to say, if you've not read the visual novel, you should do so. If you read visual novels, you should definitely read the visual novel for Steins Gate, because it gets so much deeper into his character. And not only that, the time travel theories and everything, they actually explain everything to you. So I feel like the visual novel, obviously, the anime did an amazing job to actually properly adapt it. One of the best adaptations. But obviously, the visual novel is the source material. It's way better than how the anime was able to portray everything within the limited amount of episodes. So yeah, that's just what I wanted to say. There you go, Ultimate Husbando, definitely. How? From House Moving Castle? Where should I put him? I'll put him here. Or wait a minute. Yeah, I think that's appropriate. Okay, S tier, Howl from House Moving Castle. Now I have to say, House Moving, he as a character I feel like he's a really good character, and I feel like he's like one of the perfect like, obviously House Moving Castle is not a shoujo, like not falls on the shoujo, doesn't fall in the shoujo genre, I think. But still, he is like one of the perfect characters to be in like a shoujo manga, I feel like, because just look at him. Like, like his appearance and everything, like he's like a prince on a, like, like on a horse. He looks like that, which is like, so common in shoujo manga and shoujo anime. So in that department, he's like full points he gets. Now as a character, I like, his personality and everything, he, like, he's a good character. He's a really nice character as far as I can remember from House Moving Castle. Like, he's quite tolerant. He is also, I think, as far as I can remember, the whole thing with Calcifer that happened, like that also shows that he's quite kind as well. And like he's quite what do you call it, he's very like, I think soft spoken, like, very much quite a nice guy as far as I can remember. But obviously, since it was a movie, I feel like the character development that he got, obviously it was like two hour 30 minutes kind of a movie, I think, as far as I can remember. So in that limited amount of time, they had to actually build his character and show him to us. So in that small amount of time, I feel like the amount of character development he got, if this he was in an actual anime series or something, I feel like he would have been a lot well fleshed out, well fleshed out characters. Because like all the characters here, they have like particular animes to them or mangas to them. For example, like Miyamura, Kiritsugu, Usui Takumi. They're like, Usui Takumi has like a manga which I think is like 100 chapters or something. I don't remember how many chapters it was. And if you actually adapt it to anime, I'm pretty sure it'll have like 2 to 3 seasons if you completely adapt Kaicho wa Maid-sama. While House Moving Castle Howl has like a small amount of time. So in that department, I feel like he gets quite the short end of the stick. Because, like, character development is everything for characters and for tier lists. Like, how much well you'll be able to, like, develop a character that actually, like, makes characters more likable. So with the little amount of time he got, I think he's a really nice person and his character is quite good. He probably would have been able to be more fleshed out if he got a bigger amount of time. Now I think House Moving Castle also has a novel, as far as I remember. So I'm not quite sure how his character is in a novel, but I feel like the novel would be able to properly put, like, in a better way, will be able to portray his character development or whatever. Because it's a novel, it's obviously it's a way more expanded. But yeah, I'm not quite sure, but I've heard that this show also has a novel. So yeah, so there you go, S tier, in the lower end of the S tier. Like, this is how I'm doing it, like the characters who are at the beginning, like, they're like, I prefer them more in the S tier, that kind of thing. So that's why he's in the lower end of the S tier. I was kind of hesitating to put him in the A or the S tier, but then I was like, nah, he deserves the S tier. Okay, Emi Ashiro. Now, as kind of like, okay. Nah, you know what? No, I won't put him there. There you go, S tier at the top. I'm putting him. Like, I was pretty surprised that like in the nominations, I've seen like in the Muramasa's nomination, Emiya Archer's nomination, yeah, but I didn't see him at all, which was quite surprising because I think in Husbando perspective, Emi Ashiro is perfect. He gets full points. Like, he would have been the ultimate husbando if I only put him, like, based on husbando points. Because this guy is like, what can I say? He's like a full family person. Like, I'm pretty sure like, if you watch the show in itself, he's like, he has all the qualities of a perfect husbando. So yeah, but as a character, obviously, like I said, Okabe Rintaro is the ultimate, like, being, of anime. So that's why I had to put him in the S tier, because like, that's like a huge hurdle over there, the person who's sitting on top, Okabe Rintaro. So that's why I put it, like, I was putting him in the ultimate husbando list, then I was like, no, I'll put him in the S tier. So there you go. Like I said, as a husbando, he's perfect. Like, I'm pretty sure you've seen, like, he cooks, he does, like, like in the end of Heaven's Field, not Heaven's Field, sorry, Unlimited Blade Works. Yeah, Unlimited Blade Works. You see him like, as like a normal person, as not like a normal family person. He's a really nice person guy. Obviously, he as a character in itself, he's an interesting character because he has the like he's one of those characters who has the shonen personality of I'm going to save everyone, I'll be the hero of justice, who is stuck in a show like Fate, which is kind of hilarious if you think about it. Like I just talked about Kiritsugu, I said like like Fate Zero, Fate Stay Night, these shows are shows which actually bring up the out the ugliness in human beings, and it is not definitely not a shonen type of a show. Like you have to make sacrifices to gain something in these shows, while Emiyashiro is a shonen main character. It's so funny that these two like he's actually in this show. Like with a shonen type of personality, he's stuck in a world where shonen stuff doesn't work, it seems like. So which is also kind of, I have to say, which is also gives us hope, as like it also gives us like a light of hope of something like, oh, like maybe he will be able to accomplish something in this type of a world. But yeah, I've seen so many people hate on Emiyashiro because of just this reason of how naive he is. But I quite enjoy his character like that. I feel like if Emiyashiro was not like that, he wouldn't be Emiyashiro. He wouldn't be the the harem master, like an EX rank of like he has. He wouldn't have that if he was not that type of an Emiyashiro. But yeah, all in all, he's a really good character, like a really amazing husbando. So there you go, top of the S tier. I feel like he deserves that. He definitely deserves that. Yeah, there you go. Okay, Takasu Ryuji. Oh, okay, this guy. Oh boy, he um I have to put him here. Takasu Ryuji. This is one of my nominations. S tier. I'm pretty sure a few people might not know who he is. He's from Toradora. And Toradora is one of my favorite rom-com shows. It was one of my first rom-com shows that I've watched when I started anime, and it is still one of my favorites. And Takasu Ryuji, if you know this guy, he's the ultimate husbando as well. Like as a husbando, he has gets so much husbando points. Like you have to see the show to realize that. But yeah, as a character, I have to say I quite enjoyed his character. He like in a show, like in a rom-com show, he obviously he definitely was not like a dense character, usually where what rom-com shows get like a dense character. He's definitely not one of those characters. But like as a character, it's him as a character himself. I feel like like he's like in a slice of life show, so he's one of the normal characters. Like most of the characters here, I feel like Sebastian, like Hao, Kiritsugu, Shiro, these characters are from like some other genre of shows, while he like Takasu Ryuji and a few others are from the slice of life genre. So in a slice of life perspective, he's one of the characters that I really liked. What can I say? Like I like his dynamic with Taiga. His dynamic with Taiga was really interesting. And since like Toradora being one of my favorite shows, obviously like the characters there as well will definitely be a little bit higher in my list. So that's why obviously Takasu Ryuji being the main character of the show, I'm like obviously putting him in the higher tier. As a guy, like as a character, he's a nice guy. He like he cooks, he does like stuff, he takes care of Taiga. And he's like the like what can I say, he's like the big brother. I wouldn't call him big brother, but yeah, big brother you could say, like a very nice big brother type of a character. And obviously because of that, I feel like Toradora, like a lot of characters really liked him. Like I don't think this is a spoiler at this point because Toradora has come out it has been a long time, but I'm kind of spoiling it here. Like that is the reason why I feel like all the all the main three female characters liked him, like Taiga, Kushida, and Ami. Three of them really genuinely like, which is kind of surprising by the end, because like like we at the beginning were under the impression that no one liked him, like all the from the like kind of all the female characters, like like I'm talking about like means from the romantic perspective. They liked him as a friend, but not that, like from a romantic perspective. At the beginning we thought no one liked him, but by the end of it we realized like each and every character loved him in their own way, and obviously one character was the winner. So this kind of was like a hidden harem show, if you think about it like that. Like three girls, but it's so surprising the way they did that. And I genuinely am not surprised why they like Takasu Ryuji, because as a character he's really good. Like you need to see the show to actually understand how good of a character he is. And obviously as husbando point, he gets full points because he's perfect as a husbando. All right, Kuhulin. Boy, I feel like putting everyone in the S tier. What the hell? Oh boy, I'm gonna put him. Yeah, here. Kuhulin, S tier. Oh boy, this guy. He's like the ultimate bro. I feel like Oh god, like it's so sad that he always gets the short end of the stick. Like all the routes he died, he became a whole meme of like Lancer Gashinda. Like even the spin-offs make fun of him of actually dying in every route and just kill him off. Like it's it's unfortunate, but obviously as a character, like I said, he's one of the ultimate bros. He's just like I remember, I think yeah, in Unlimited Blade Works, I remember not on Unlimited Blade Works, I think in Fate Root as well. It's been so long I've read the Fate Root that I completely forgot about it. I think in the Fate Root, does he help us in the Fate Root? I'm talking about Saber's Root. I don't remember. God, it's been so long I've read the Fate Root that I actually forgot what happened to him in the Fate Root. Oh, Fate Root needs an immediate reboot, I feel like. Oh god. Anyways, I forgot completely. Anyways, yeah, Unlimited Blade Works, Heaven's Feel, both of the the routes he helps us out a lot. In Unlimited Blade Works, he was like one of the main allies, and all the times like we see how honorable and how nice of a person he is. Now as a husbando, if you you need to actually go to, I feel like that show, what is it called, Emiya's cooking, or what, Emiya Sanchi no Gohan, I think, every day something, I forgot about the English name, but that show, you need to go there to see his slice of life aspect. Or Hollow Ataraxia, you need to read that to see what husbando points he has. As a like in a slice of life setting, he's just a really nice guy who just goes fishing and and kind of helps out in the shopping district as like a part-time job or something. I remember that scene. And yeah, like as a husbando, he's a really cool, chill guy. And obviously as a character, he's one of the most honorable characters and always gets the short end of the stick. So yeah, I always wish the best for him if he gets like in some screen time in some other spin-off or something. I always wish the best for him and hope that he gets like a proper master at least, because what happened. Like the way, like he had a perfectly great master, Bazette. But unfortunately, what happened, what Kirei did. And that's why I'm saying he always gets the short ends of this end of the stick. So I feel like that's the reason why I think in was it in oh wait, I think in Hollow Ataraxia, Bazette was his master, wasn't it? Or was it Kirei? I forgot. But yeah, the versions of the show, the spin-offs of the show, where he actually is like Bazette's servant, he has like a good ending to it, because he has like a reasonable master. Unfortunately, Kirei, as Kirei's servant, he's always in danger. So yeah, I hope the best for him in the future, because yeah, he's too unlucky. and he deserves the best. So S tier, there you go. Cloro. Oh, this guy. I have to put him in the A tier, unfortunately. At the beginning of the A tier, I'm putting him because yeah, it's been so long I've watched Hunter x Hunter. I forgot. That's probably why I'm putting him in the A tier, because as far as I can remember, I really liked him as, like, like from the Phantom Troop. I have to say he has a very interesting personality and a very interesting morality. And, like, you cannot just say, like, if you've seen Hunter x Hunter, you cannot just say the Phantom Troop are bad. Like, they do bad things, obviously, but they are kind of in the morally gray zone. And Cloro, being the leader of the Phantom Troop, I feel like he also falls in that, like, in that zone. And like Hunter x Hunter obviously kind of ended in a weird way. The anime, kind of like went on a hiatus, and I think the author of Hunter x Hunter is again resuming the manga. So maybe in the future we'll get like like future anime adaptations, but that's a long way in the future. I feel like not now in any way. But yeah, like I feel like if we get more see more of him, like his we dive more deeper into his personality, it'll be kind of interesting. But from what we saw of him, yeah, he's one of the morally gray characters, which I have to say is quite enjoyable. Because, like I said, anime is always put in morally good characters. In most of the shows, we get morally good characters. People in the morally gray zone are very rare. So, being a villain and being in that type of a, like a morally gray zone is quite interesting. And yeah, again, like I said, I've forgotten most of what Hunter x Hunter had, and I've forgotten most of uh, the situations in Hunter x Hunter, so I don't remember that much about him. But from what I remember, yeah, I liked his character. So A tier, like not S tier, but A tier. All right, Akai Shuichi. Oh, this guy. Ooh. All right, S tier. In the end, I'm putting him. Oh, if you watch Detective Conan, which I think a lot of people hasn't, or maybe they have, because I don't hear anyone talking about Detective Conan that much. But if you watch the show, you know how much of a badass this guy is. This guy is peak. Oh, this is one of the most badass characters, Akai Shuichi, and I won't say anything because Detective Conan has a lot of spoilers, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people has not watched Detective Conan, but his story is crazy. Like, there's so many twists with this guy that goes on that is kind of actually crazy, and he's definitely one of my favorite characters in the show. Like, oh boy, this, like I said, I cannot say anything because like it'll be huge spoilers. Huge, I mean huge spoilers it'll be. I won't say anything, but if people who have watched Detective Conan and know what's up with this guy, you'll probably understand what I'm trying to say. This guy's a badass, and yeah, like just because of that badassery, he gets the S tier. And like I said, oh, again, spoilers. Like in Husbando perspective, yeah, he also ranks quite high because I cannot say anything over here because it'll be huge spoilers. But yeah, like if you know what I'm trying to say, like the alter persona or the alter, his, I won't say much, but it's quite interesting. Like looking at him from that perspective, if you look at his that form, he, like his husbando, like sections come out, you can see that this is pure badassery. The other thing that I'm talking about, you can see his husbando points from that perspective if you look at him from that perspective. So yeah, there you go. I cannot say anything because, like I said, it'll be huge spoilers, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people have actually not watched Detective Conan, but and or maybe plans to watch it, so I cannot say anything else. All right, the next one, Eraserhead. I have to put him in the A tier, unfortunately. I like him, but not that much, he's okay, he's one of those interesting, like teacher sensei type of characters. He wants the best for his students, and he's like, yeah. But my personal preference, this is just like, he's fine, like, but nothing that much to talk about. Like I cannot put him in any more, like like higher tier. something like that. But 8 year, I feel like it's okay, but it's just my, it's my opinion. And yeah, so there you go. Nothing else to say. I don't think I like I can have anything to say about him. But yeah, 8 year. All right. Oh, Araragi Koyomi here. Yes, ultimate husbandos. As a husbando, I don't know, but as a character, I really like him. Oh boy, Araragi Koyomi. Oh, like what can I say? Like, I'm pretty sure you know how much I love Monogatari, and obviously any character in the Monogatari franchise automatically gets a huge biased, review from me, just because they're from Monogatari. So there you go. That's why Ultimate Husbando, he is up there. And like I said, from Husbando perspective, I think he probably scores like, I don't know, like C or D or something like that. But as a character, I really love him. So he, Araragi Koyomi, I can say a lot of things. Like, whenever something like related to Monogatari comes up, I can talk a lot. So I'm going to keep it short. As a main character, he's one of the interesting main characters. Like, all characters in Monogatari are very interesting. And what can I say? Like, he's not he's not a wimpy character from most shows that we see, rom-com or shows like that. He's not a wimpy actor at all. He also like obviously he's quite quite a perverted character, as if you've seen the show, you know that. And other than that, he is just what can I say, he's really cool as well. As a from the badassery meter, he's very cool. His vampiric powers and everything, if you combine that to him, he's definitely one of the coolest, one of the coolest characters that I've seen. And oh boy, I feel like I actually need to mention, like, Kizumonogatari, oh, Araragi looks so good in that. Like, I would so much love if the anime also brought in Kizumonogatari Araragi Koyomi's form. He looks crazy in Kizumonogatari, and oh boy, like, I feel like Kizumonogatari Araragi is the best Araragi. He looks fantastic over there. Like, if you've seen Kizumonogatari, you'll know. Like, I feel like everyone in Kizumonogatari looks so good. Like, but Araragi is like just crazy, like when he takes off his shirt. Oh boy. Oh, Araragi is amazing, and and yeah, obviously that scores huge points. He gets a very huge points as a character. Like I said, he's a little bit different from the normal main characters we see. And he, what can I say, his way of looking at the world, and not only him, like I said, Monogatari, every character has a unique way of looking at the world, which is something that makes the show so entertaining. And obviously Araragi being one of those characters there, his way of looking at the world is also quite interesting. There are quite a few flaws in him, I have to say, because I remember one of the, I wouldn't call it a flaw, but naivety, I feel like, is I remember in Sengoku Nadeko section, him being naive. And I remember Kaikideshu actually kind of what can I say, told him that, was it Kaiki or was it someone else? No, wait. Oh yeah, it was Kaiki. Yeah. Kaiki actually kind of told him not to, I don't think this is spoilers at this point. There's not much big spoilers. Not to kind of interact with Sengoku Nadeko, because he has this type of a character of unable to leave anyone alone. That type of a character. I remember even in season 1 there being another scene where it was the whole the snake. That was also Nadeko's section. Yeah, where the snake, I think Kuchinawa, that was the name. When it kind of was the curse was repelled from Nadeko, it went and to the other went away, and Aragi realized that it is going to go and hurt the person who used the curse, and he tried to stop the snake. Where I think Kanbaru stopped him and said that what are you trying to do? You need to choose. You cannot save everyone. Like I feel like this is this is what I call naivety in him, which is also some like a thing that I have to say that makes him, that makes him likable, and this type of a shonen type of a character. But I guess that's the only thing that I've the only section that I kind of thought that yeah, he needs to change this type of a personality, because Monogatari is not a shonen show. Like I said, like Monogatari is a show where it's quite seinen if you look at it. So that type of an attitude of saving everyone, like even the enemy, that's very dangerous. That's very deadly. Obviously, this is something that Kaiki also points out later on to him. And yeah, like Araragi as a character, that's the only thing that I kind of did not like about him. But other than that, he's a perfect character. Why I said that I did not like that type of part about him, because I feel like Araragi is better than that. He's quite intelligent, but this type of a I think no, not hero complex. You cannot call this a hero complex. This attitude of trying to save everyone is something that I didn't think that he would actually have, but as we saw the show little by little, as we saw more of him, I actually realized that that's one of the integral parts of his character, which sometimes is actually quite dangerous in itself. So yeah, but anyways, other than that, I feel like he's like really good. He's an amazing character. So there you go, Ultimate Husbando. Hachiman, okay. I'll put Hachiman in S tier. I'll put him in the top of S tier. Oh my god. Oh, what in the... Okay, there you go. Oh my god, what's happening? Okay, anyways. So, Hachiman from Oregairu. Now, Oregairu is a show, I remember ranking it quite high in the anime tier list, and yeah, I still agree. Oregairu is one of the really good shows. And Hachiman is a character who has again a very unique look on life in itself, and it was quite entertaining, not gonna lie. He's he's quite comedic as well. I remember him actually cracking a few jokes which was just hilarious in season 1. Not only season 1, and later on he kind of gets a little bit more mellowed down. But in season 1, he was crazy with his nihilistic look on life, and just completely. I remember him writing about a panda or whatever. So yeah, but yeah, he's a very entertaining character, especially in season 1. As time goes, you can see in season 2, season 3, he kind of changes little by little, and he actually becomes a very mature type of character, and we get to see the flaws that he has. And I have to say, the flaws that he has are quite interesting. One of the biggest flaws, as far as I can remember, Hachiman has, is he sacrifices himself for others' sake. He doesn't even realize he's doing it, and he doesn't even realize that sacrificing himself for others' sake is also making his friends sad. His friends doesn't want that, which is obviously Yuigahama and Yukinoshita, these two. These two being the people who being most hurt while seeing him actually sacrificing himself for someone else's betterment. So yeah, and as a character, I have to say he feels the most human character in anime in itself. All characters always have some kind of an exaggerated sections of people's personality, and I feel like Hachiman is probably a really well written main character. Not only Hachiman, every character in that show is really well written, and from that point, from that one aspect, he's such a well fleshed out character that he actually gets to be in the S tier. And yeah, he feels so much human, he feels so much like a normal person, and his flaws and everything included, He's such an interesting character, and I like I said, Oregairu is one of my favorite shows, and I really loved the way they kind of did the show, the way they ended the show, and the way they kind of like the show in itself went to its conclusion. Hachiman's growth, not only Hachiman's growth, Yukinoshita's growth as well alongside Hachiman, and a little Yugahama's growth as well. So yeah, like the three main characters, I feel like in Oregairu are the best written characters. And yeah, like whenever there's, I'm pretty sure whenever there's like some tier list which will involve these three characters, Hachiman, Yukinoshita, and Yuigahama, they'll obviously be in the top tiers because they're written so well. And there you go, that's why S tier. And like I said, as a character, he's funny, he's quite like he has an interesting look on life. And yeah, he's a nice guy overall. He's, like I said, he sacrifices himself for other people's, and which in itself is such a rare quality. But like I said, for people who loves you, that in itself could be quite heartbreaking when you see someone else, one of your friends sacrificing their life for someone else and not relying on you. That's like like a complicated feeling. And that was the whole theme of the show as far as I can remember, the whole thing. And especially by the end, that became the actual thing of like the main theme of the show, where his friends, obviously Yuigahama and Yukinoshita, did not want him to do that, while he never was able to see the world from their perspective, how they were feeling when they were seeing him sacrificing himself. So yeah, like all in all, the show was great. The character in itself is also great. Really good, well written character. Light Forger. Okay. I'm gonna have to put him in the last part of the S tier. Like I feel like a lot of people will probably be probably disagree with me. They'll probably say like, oh no, he deserves to be the ultimate husbando. But I will have to disagree, because I think from what we have seen of him, obviously he has so many husbando qualities, but there's so many things lacking in him as well, which I don't blame him for, because he has been brought up in a very harsh environment, went through a lot of things. But I feel like there's so much character development that he can get, and he will definitely get, I think, because the show in itself is like spy family. He is, I'm pretty sure by the end of this show, by the end of this manga, he'll actually become a really good husband. So I'm pretty sure he'll rank, he will high, kind of go higher up. But for now, what we've seen him in the anime, he deserves, he requires a lot of other character development. Now, like I said, as a husbando, he looks really okay, really good. Has so many qualities, but there's so many things that he also lacks. Like I said, because the way he was brought up, he doesn't realize the actual, in his heart he realizes the importance of family, but in his mind he thinks like, oh, I'm doing this for the mission. That thing, when both his heart and mind will be in sync, I feel like that will be the ultimate character development, which he'll definitely get. Like I said, I feel like that will be the main theme of the show by the end. So he has potential, he has huge potential. That's why for now I'm putting him in the S tier. He's definitely going to rise up later on. Otomi Nekire, oh my god. You know why I'm laughing? I feel like he's probably like, and if you look at him from the husbando perspective, he probably deserves the E tier, because if you know him, you know what he did to his wife. But as a character, I love him so much. I have to put him higher. I cannot put him so low. Sorry. Husbando points, he's bad. He's E tier as a husbando. But as a character, I have to put him in the S tier. I cannot go lower than that. I'm sorry. So pain. I'll have to put him before Kiritsugu. I love him more than Kiritsugu. Where should I put him? Okay, I think this is fine. Like I said, as a husbando, he's trash. If you if you know his story, huge spoilers. What he did was he's a character who doesn't know what empathy is. he himself knew what type of a person he is. Like, and he's quite self, like he knows what he is, what type of a monster he is. So to understand what feelings actually are, how someone would feel, like, what is love or what is sadness, he decided to get married. He got married. He was a okay husband, I guess, but in the end, like I said, these are all spoilers. Like, in the end, he sees his wife in deathbed, and he sees that, oh, he thinks that maybe now I'll feel sad, and his wife says, like, it's okay, like, you were not at fault, and kind of, forgives him or whatever, and she dies, and Kirisu, Kire, I shouldn't laugh at this. Kire was like, okay, I am actually feeling sad. But you know why I'm feeling sad? Because I was not the one who killed her. Which is so messed up. That's why I'm saying, as a husbando, he's just E tier. But other than that, everything about him is very interesting. His personality is one of the most unique characters I've seen. Like I said, he understands his own, lackluster, his lack, what he's lacking in. He knows that. He realizes that. He understands that. He tries to do something about it, fails, and he realizes that he's a monster. He's a twisted monster, and he cannot do anything about it, and nothing gives him joy. So that's basically Kire, and that in itself makes him so interesting. And as a character, he's just really good. It's a really well written character. That's why I'm putting him in the S tier. But like I said, if I had to judge him by the husbando points, he'll probably get the very low rating, because whatever you say, even though we know he himself realizes that as a person he lacks empathy at all, he's not a human, he's a monster, even though he's aware of that, still, yeah, he, as a husbando, he's just ranking that low. As a character, he's a great character. So I have to put him in the S tier. I cannot, I cannot make him, go lower than that, because yeah, he's amazing. Oh, I feel like this, this, I have to make a ultimate villain tier list, because there's so many characters here who are just villains, and who are just so good villains. For example, Ashalat here later on, who's going to come. Kide, these characters, I'll definitely make a top tier, villain tier list later on in the future. So I'm pretty sure, a lot of people will put them in that list. And even if they don't, I myself will put them. Not to worry. Because, oh boy, I want to talk about them. How great of a villain these characters are. Okay. Next one, Li Xuan. Now, Li Xuan has two forms. Obviously, like I said, I performed the badass, grandpa type of a, form. So I picked this form. I'll put him in the A tier because, he, as a character, we don't see much of him. He's there in, I think, Fate Extra, he's there. Yeah, I've not played Fate Extra though. Fate Extella, he's there, and Fate Granddaughter, he's there. But not much we have seen of him. Whereas as much as we've seen of him, and especially this form, we've seen not much of him in this form. But from what we've seen of him, he's a nice character, his Li Xuan, and I really love this form, this assassin form, the badass grandpa with the kind of looks like a Yakuza bodyguard or something. The way he's standing, like a master martial artist. Obviously, he's a master martial artist, and he's so good. His character design is perfect, and just because of that, and obviously his personality is also quite nice, I'll have to put him in the A tier. He's a badass character. All right, Suna from Ore Monogatari. All right, I have to put him in the A tier because where should I put him? I should put him here. Yeah, here. No, wait. I'll put him here. Sorry, I have to put him a little bit low in the A tier. Because, like I said, he's a nice guy. I think he's one of those guys who I feel like everyone thought will be like a like a rival to the main character or something, but turns out he's not. He's actually a good supporter. And he has such a great personality, and kind of like I'm only talking about what I've seen from the anime. I've not read the manga though. So, and he he supports the main character. He's a nice person. He is and all that included. I feel like he definitely deserves a solid 8 year. But that's all I saw of him, and I don't even remember that much. That's why and I've not read the manga. That's why I feel like he's a little bit low. He would have probably gotten a little bit higher if I read the manga, or or I remembered most of the things in the anime. But other than that, yeah, he's a nice guy. I like him. And Ore Monogatari is also another shoujo show that I really like. And yeah, there you go. All right, Oberon. From Fate Grand Order, Oberon. It's quite complicated because I don't know anything about him. I've not played Lost Bell 6, so I cannot judge him. Like, how can I judge him then? But I do know him as a character. As a character, I'll put him in the low 8 tier, because just because of his character design is his artist is Umino Chika, I think, yeah, who is one of my favorite artists, because I just love her characters that she designs. Oberon is one character. Sangatsu no Lion, or March Comes in Like a Lion, one of my favorite shows, one of the top tier shows that I've watched, is also drawn by Umino Chika. That's her name, isn't it? Or am I making a mistake? Yeah, I think it's Umino Chika. And not only that, I think Hachimitsu no Clover, yeah, also was drawn by her. What else did she draw? I think there's another show that she drew. I can't remember. Oh, there's another show. I don't remember. Another popular show that she. I don't remember what it is. But yeah, either way, I love her drawings, her art, art and everything. It has such a unique feel to it, and it's just so nice. Like I'm a big fan of Sangatsu no Lion's art style. And at first I when Oberon was drawn, I didn't realize, but then when I kind of saw people talking about it and I saw him closely, I'm like, oh yeah, it's her drawing. And there you go. And I think there's an interesting story about how Oberon was supposed to be I think oh yeah, I think a normal supporter in Lost Bell 6. Nasu didn't have any plans on making him a pretender. I think people have told me in this comment, I've forgotten. But seeing this drawing of Oberon, Nasu changed his mind and he decided to give him a much more deeper background and the story, the whole pretender situation. He decided to do that. I think that's the whole thing, which is kind of impressive, actually looking like a person who had a story ready for that character, but then when he saw the art, the way it changed, the way that person decided to change the story just because of the art is impressive in a way, I have to say. And that's impressive. That's the power of character design. I'm pretty sure Nasu probably saw him and realized you know what, yeah, this will be better. Just looking at him, I feel like if he has a story like this, it'll be even better. And that's why he decided to change it or something, which is really impressive. So yeah, just by that, I'm putting him in the 8 tier. But I'm pretty sure he'll get way higher than this after I play Lost Bell 6. I'm as far as I know, his character development and story is really good, and he's probably going to go to the S tier after I play Lost Bell 6. But for now, I have no idea. And I want to keep it that way because I want to, no spoilers. I want to see everything with my own eyes. Wodaim. Okay. Oh boy, he's definitely deserving of the S tier. I'll put him here. Pirsaria Wodaim. And this guy was such a mystery. Up until very recently, we barely knew anything about him. We just knew that, yeah, this guy, he's the leader of the Cryptors, he's a he's a powerful person, he's a mysterious person. But then in came Lost Bell 5 Olympus, and yeah, he's one of the best characters. His backstory is so tragic, and it's such a I loved his backstory so much. The whole him being a normal rich guy, and then after getting to the whole mafia situation, him being taken care of by that person who had nothing, that little boy who had nothing, just because he thought his eyes were beautiful, and he decided to protect that something beautiful, with his own life. That changing him completely is like, that's was one of the best backstories I've heard in anime. Not anime, but anime or manga, game, whatever you call Fate Grand Order. But yeah, and that changing him completely, his character development and his part is his accomplishment in Lost Bell 5 Olympus, his end, everything included, everything combined. Oh boy, yeah, he's definitely one of the greatest characters. And it's so sad that the way his life ended. And yeah, I'm not, like, what can I say? But as a character, he's just perfect. S tier. Oh, this guy, I forgot his name. Oh boy, from Future Diary. It's been so. Future Diary has also been a show that I've seen so long ago. Like I was like, Future Diary, Toradora. These were shows which I saw when I started watching anime. I think it was 2013 or something like that when I watched these shows. It's been so long. I barely remember anything. But I do remember him being a nice character. That's all I remember. Him also helped out. He also helped out Yuki a lot, the main character. That's all I can remember. And that's just it. So unfortunately, I have to put him in the B tier because even though he's a good character, I have nothing much to say about him, and I probably forgot a lot of things about him. But yeah, he was a good helper. He helped out Yuki a lot, as far as I can remember. And overall, he was a big help, and a big, as a character, he was also very good, very nice. Yeah, as you can say, I barely remember anything. I cannot even say anything about him. So yeah, B tier. He would have probably gotten a little bit higher if I actually remembered. But yeah, Future Diary has been so long. I remember nothing about it. Right, Rai Mustang. Oh, yes, he is a character. I'll put him in the A tier because I know a lot of people really like him. I also like him, but not compared to all the characters in the S tier. I feel like he's a little bit lower. So there you go. That's fine, as A tier. And yeah, like Roy Mustang, all of us knows him. Like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and he was one of the genuinely nice people in that show. And like everyone knows what happened in Full Metal Alchemist. Like Full Metal Alchemist is a show where there's actually dark stuff happening in that show. So that's why I'm saying, in that show, he was genuinely one of the good people, a nice person, and a good leader. And I'm glad by the end of it, he actually got a nice ending, because he deserved each and every bit of the happy ending that he got. Because I think by the end of it, there was a part of me that thought that he was probably going to get a sad ending or something. Thank God that didn't end up happening. Because I don't know why, but his character, him being the leader and everything, I felt like the show is going to sacrifice him or something by the end. But they actually did not, and actually gave him a really nice ending, which I'm really glad about. And yeah, he deserves all the happiness that he got in the end. But all right. Yami Sukehiro. I included him. I really like him, that's why. Okay, Yami Sukehiro. Where should I put him? I'll put him just, yeah, here. Yeah, this guy. Oh, he's great. I really like his very nonchalant personality of being surpass your limits. Takes Asta, throws him out. Just go surpass your limit. I just love that. And yeah, as a leader, as a as the, I would say, mentor character, Yami is just amazing. And I feel whenever there's some what can I say? Like, very dangerous situation, very concerning situation. There's a few characters, whenever you look at them, you feel like that, oh, this is a dangerous situation, but that guy is there. So I think everything will be fine. Yami is one of those characters, like I think I remember in Naruto, where in the initial stages of Naruto Shippuden, where Jiraiya was there, Kakashi was there, and obviously Naruto was growing, and whenever some strong opponents would come in, and I would always think that, okay, Jiraiya is there, everything will be fine. All right, Kakashi is there, everything will be fine. Same thing with him, like if a strong character comes in this show, I'm like, okay, Yami is here. Like, and even if Asta at his current stage is not able to beat this, villain, Yami would probably be able to do it. Like, this relief, this type of a thing of like, oh, he's there, everything will be fine. He's one of those characters, which obviously shows how strong he is and the faith that we have in him. And obviously, in the anime end of Black Clover, he has fallen into a pretty bad situation. I've not read the manga though, like I was very tempted to read the manga, but I've actually stopped myself while reading the manga because I actually want to watch the anime in itself when it comes out. The movie's coming out, and it's such an unfortunate situation that when I started YouTube, Black Clover was already ongoing, and I've watched most of it, so I wasn't able to react to Black Clover. But I do plan on reacting to Black Clover when it comes back again, the movie, and also the future anime seasons that we're going to get. I do plan on reacting to it because Black Clover is really good, and I've heard the manga gets really good as well. That's why I'm saying I've tried my best to not get into any spoilers, and I've stayed way out away from the manga just so that I don't get spoiled. But yeah, like he's in a tricky situation in the end of the anime, but I hope everything is okay by the end. I'm not sure what happens to him. I'm pretty sure he'll be fine. Hopefully, Asta does something, but no spoilers, please. But yeah, as a character, yeah, he's great. Like he looking at him, you can you have this faith in him, because he's you can actually rely on him. That type of a character he is. I feel like he's there, everything will be fine. That type of a thing. But yeah, all right. Gintoki. Okay. Oh, definitely. Top. I mean top. Even above Okabe Rintaro. Ultimate Husbando. Okay, Gintama is definitely, I feel like, the ultimate character, ultimate male character in my book. Like if I look if I had to make like a list of what can I say, like really good characters, really amazing characters, Gintoki would probably be in the top 2 or top 3 because so many qualities in this guy. I have to say, as a fictional character, I feel like he's the most inspiring character of all anime. Like, yeah, of all anime, I'm actually saying this. Like, that's how much I just respect this person and everything. Like, like he has a sad past and everything, but what can I say? Like, the way he lives his life is so inspiring, even with his sad backstory and like everything that he has gone through. He laughs at everything so much, and I feel like that's ultimate courage. If you're able to, like, if it's such a sad backstory and everything, if you're able to laugh at everything in your life, that's like ultimate courage. And not only that, he has one of the most unshakable will I've ever seen, which is so inspiring. Like the silver soul, I think, yeah, Gintama or Gin no Tamashi. So yeah, like he's just really good. Gintama is one of the top shows, obviously, and him being the main character of that show automatically just puts him in the top ultimate husbando. And yeah, as a character, like here's the thing, I feel like a lot of good shows, if you have to look at the characters, most of the time the really good characters, are not the main characters, but some of the side characters or something like that. Because, for example, if I had to choose from Monogatari, the top character that I love the most, I would definitely pick Oshino Shinobu, and then I'll probably pick Senjo Gahara. Then I'll probably pick who should I pick? Hanekawa, yeah, Hanekawa, and like that. And Aragi will be quite late, you know. Okay, Steins Gate is an exception. I love Okabe Rintaro very much, but most of the shows, you know, like the main characters are good, but I feel like the side characters or the supporting characters, they are a lot much better than the main character. Gintama, however, is an exception where I feel like if I had to judge and rank all the characters in Gintama, all the time I'll put Gintoki on top. Then I'll put Kagura on. Like, you know, after Gintoki comes Kagura. Because, oh boy, I love Kagura so much as well. And yeah, so Gintoki is definitely one of the best characters in all of anime. And yeah, I doubt he's going to come down from that spot. Just like how Oshino Shinobu in my waifu list is probably never going to come down. Oshino Shinobu and Tosaka Rin. Just like that, I feel like Gintoki and Okabe it's not coming down anytime soon. Gintoki is definitely on top, and I doubt anyone can topple him. And yeah, Gintama is such a great show. Like, it's such a shame that I actually started this show quite late. I wouldn't say late because it's been a while I've seen Gintama. I think I started Gintama in 2016 or something. Yeah. And it took me a while to get used to everything. I even dropped the show once when I first started it. But then when I gave it a second chance, and I just kept going and going and going. And then when it ended, I realized like what a good show this is. And Gintama is deserving of each and every praise that it gets. And top anime, peak anime, Gintama. And Gintoki being one of the best characters there. Alright, Emiya Shiro, or Archer. I'm going to put him over here. Yeah. Okay, so Archer, Emiya Shiro, obviously every one of us knows at this point that he is the future of Emiya Shiro. And you know, his whole philosophy and everything is obviously it's quite interesting. Like, you know, like when it was revealed who he was, I've read the visual novel first and I watched the anime. So the revelation when it came that he's actually Shiro, I got like, you know, I saw that in the visual novel at the beginning, and that's when it got revealed. So that was quite an interesting, like, you know, like twist, I have to say, at that point. And yeah, and obviously even before that I really liked him. And what can I say, he's really, like, you know, his, like, you know, looking at him, he looks really good, you know. What can I say, like, he has this weird, like, you know, the twin swords that he has, his arch, like, you know, his bow, his shield and everything. And like, you know, as a heroic spirit, as a servant, he's really good. He looks really amazing. But like I said, like, you know, he has like a way of looking at the world. He's not as naive, because he knows that you actually have to make choices certain times. You cannot save everyone, and that's why he wanted to kill his naive, like, you know, younger self. So all that included, you know, obviously I cannot blame him, but all the time I have to say, like, you know, I why I put him below Emiya, like, you know, like Shiro, is because I don't know, I feel like I kind of, you know, like hope that, like, you know, Emiya Shiro has hope in him, which Archer Emiya lacked because of all the things that he went through in his life. I feel like I would pick that, you know. That's why I put Shiro before Emiya, which I think a lot of people will probably disagree. But for me, you know, like I like that hope that Emiya Shiro had. And you know, like, and I think like Archer also in the end was kind of moved by that and decided to put his faith on this Emiya Shiro. But yeah, but other than that, yeah, he's a good character. He did try to kill his younger self, but yeah, but nothing you can do about that because what he went through. But all, like, and everything aside, he's a nice guy. He cooks, you know, like in a husbando perspective, he cooks. He like, you know, he takes care of you, and in a slice of life setting, yeah, he's perfect. Just like Emiya Shiro, like, you know, he's also Emiya Shiro. So yeah, husbando points, I feel like they both of them are just gets full points. But as a character, I like Emiyashiro a little bit more than him. But yeah, there you go. Muramasa. Now I'll put Muramasa a little bit lower. I'll put him in the lower like ranking of S tier because I don't know much about him. Like I'm pretty sure in Lost Bell 6 we'll see more of him. In Olympus and everything we saw him in Shimosa, we also saw of him. But I need a little bit more. And I feel like Lost Bell 6 is going to provide me that. Because Lost Bell 6 I think are Castoria, Oberon and Muramasa. These three are like the main characters. And we're going to get so much more about them over there. So I'm waiting for that. In Shimosa and in in Lost Bell 5 we saw of him, but that was like just teaser, I feel like. So yeah, I'm waiting for that. He'll probably go a little bit more higher because from what we know of him, he's a nice guy. Like obviously he has his exterior is Emiyashiro's, but inside he's Muramasa, and that old man, and he's like a blacksmith, and yeah, like he looks cool as hell, and his character design is so cool. And yeah, so all that included, like he gets like a solid S tier, but towards the lower end I'm probably going to put him up later on when Lost Bell 6 comes out in NA. So there you go. Gilgamesh Caster, I'm going to put him in the S. I'll put him in the S tier, top of the S tier. I was going to put him in the Ultimate Husbandos, but I cannot because he's a good king. As a husbando, I'm not quite sure. But other than that, as a king, as a character, like if this was like top male characters, I would have probably put him in the highest tier. Because as a character and as a king, he's perfect. Like I've talked about Gilgamesh so many times before in my videos as well. But I'm pretty sure every one of you knows that if this is not Gilgamesh Archer, this is Gilgamesh Caster, and this is the best version of Gilgamesh. He's a really good king, and as a character, we see so much of him, of his of his wise side in his caster form. So yeah, this Gilgamesh is the best Gilgamesh, and obviously that automatically puts him in the higher tier list. I'm not sure of him how he'll do as Husbando, but as a character, as a person in himself, he's one of the best. And yeah, so there you go. That's why a solid S tier at the top. I didn't put him in the Ultimate Husbando, but in the S tier, he definitely deserves the top of it. So there you go, Gilgamesh Caster over there. Wait, I think I actually included him, didn't I? Yeah. I think no one. Oh wait, did I don't remember. But anyways, yeah, there you go, S tier. Ashalat. Now this is the thing, like I said, in Husbando's perspective, he definitely probably would get a very low tier and something like that. But as a character, he's just so good. I'll put him beside Kirei. I'll put him higher than Kirei because I feel like as a character, Ashalat is like, as a male character, Ashalat is just one of the greatest. Like I said, I'm going to later on make a villain tier list. I'm pretty sure Kirei and Ashalat is going to reign talk over there. And just because of their characters and their personality and everything, they automatically get a very high ranking. From Husbando perspective, yeah, they probably won't get that much of a high point. But from a male character perspective, they're one of the best characters, and I just love Ashalat so much. Vinland Saga being one of my favorite animes, one of my favorite top animes, and Ashalat being the top character over there. If, like I said before, if you have to judge characters in an anime, most of the time the main characters kind of falls a little bit low. Similar to that in Vinland Saga, like the main character is obviously Thorfinn, but in the first season, he definitely reigns on top. On the top, he's there over there. And yeah, and I'm pretty sure in the future, when we're going to see more of Vinland Saga, more of Thorfinn's going to go up, higher up. We saw the naive portion of Thorfinn. This is just the prologue, I think. Yeah, the season 1 that we saw of Vinland Saga is the prologue, as far as I know. Prologue in itself was so good. I just can't wait for the future seasons to come out. I think season 2 is going to come out in January, I think. Is it January? I think so, yeah. So looking forward to that. But yeah, like I said, as a male character, Ashilat is one of the best, and that's why I've put him this high in the S tier. So yeah, I'm definitely going to make a villain tier list later on. Oh boy, that'll be good. All right, Edogawa Conan, and obviously, like this little boy, I'm pretty sure everyone, if you know, this is actually not a little boy. This is a grown, not grown man, but a teenager at least. Yeah, Shinichi Kudo. So yeah, okay. I'll put him in the S tier. There you go. Detective Conan has been a show which I've been watching for almost like a long time. Like, I started watching anime in 2013, but Detective Conan I watched even before that. It came out on TV. I remember I was very, like I was quite young, and I used to watch it. And that's why I'm saying Detective Conan, Naruto, obviously Pokemon, Beyblade. What else? Duel Masters, if you guys know. What else? There's been so many shows that I've like been watching without even knowing these are anime, and Detective Conan is one of them. So yeah, like in a nostalgic factor, Detective Conan is quite like really there with me. But obviously, other than that, in a character perspective, Detective Edogawa Conan or Shinichi Kudo are, yeah, they're really good characters. Obviously, Shinichi being the mastermind, like the master detective, he's extremely intelligent, which is obviously something that gives him so much points. As a husbando, I have to say he is a little bit of a dumb, like not, I wouldn't call him dense, but he kind of like there. But yeah, he has good intentions, and like all in all, he's nice. He's really nice. He has like a really nice character and really nice personality, and all in like all included, is a really great character. Now, it's been a while I've actually seen Detective Conan. I think it has almost been a year, because this goddamn show pops out so much filler that it's actually like, obviously I can't blame them, because the manga updates very slowly, because the author of this manga actually does actual research in so many different things. I've seen, like I've heard, like in like I think like in like some kind of a article I read that I think what was his name? Oh my god, I forgot his name. Oh, what's his name? Gosho. No, the author. Oh god, I forgot his name. Anyways, yeah, he actually does research about so many things, and the things that we see in the manga, those are at least like 2 to 3 week worth of research. Like worth. So that's why the manga comes out very slow. And obviously, since the manga comes out slow, and this show is actually like like weekly, we get so much filler. Like, I'm not saying the fillers are bad. The fillers are really good as well. Well done. But like since Detective Conan had so many episodes, from the beginning I actually skipped the manga and caught up. Skip the, sorry, not manga, sorry, skip the filler and actually caught up. Now that's why I don't watch the fillers at all. So whenever the canon episodes come out, I watch those. So like like it's been a year. I think the and canon episodes have been piled up a bit, so I'm going to watch it again. But yeah, like I've seen like this show has like 4 to 5 months worth of filler it gives after having like 2 or 3 canon episodes, and then it again gets like a 2 month filler, episodes worth, and then we again get like again 1 or 2 episodes of canon episodes. That's why like you need to wait for this show to bring out the canon episodes, and I've been quite lagging behind. I'll need to watch this again. Yeah, but anyways, this is one of the greatest shows. Detective Conan is really good. So yeah, like people who have actually not watched this, and whenever they see like 1,000 episodes, they probably get scared. Like, and if you want to watch Detective Conan, just I think like there's like a wiki page where they show which feel episodes are canon and which are filler. Just go to that and watch the canon episodes only. There's not much canon episodes. Fillers are like 70% of the show. So if you're actually scared looking at the amount of episodes, just watch the canon episodes. Like, yeah, like it'll be okay. And yeah, because that's how I did it. Because when I started this show, oh boy, it had like 500 to 600 episodes as far as I can remember. When I started properly watching this show, and I got scared looking at that. That's why I only read the canon episode, watched the canon episode. But yeah, anyways, I went on a tangent. Okay, Kaikideshu. Oh, ho, ho, yes. Ultimate Husbando. Oh, wait, no, before him. Yeah, definitely. There you go. Before Araragi. Kaikideshu is, he's another beautiful human being. Oh boy. Another really well written character. I feel like, yeah, he will also probably reign top in the villain category. He's not a typical villain, however, like he's a complicated character. He is a villain, but at the same time, he's not a villain, which makes him quite interesting. And other than that, this guy is so, what can I say? So, like, he's wise, he's so wise. Like, it's amazing. Like, the arguments that the way he looks at life is just so good. And like, he's a person who even tricked a god. If you know what I'm talking about, if you've seen Monogatari, you know he's a person who tricked a god, and and actually saved the main character's life like that. So it's crazy, like this is Kaikideshu is really good, and whenever his bits come up, the way he looks at life, the way he talks and everything is so entertaining, like it's just great. Like, I feel like Monogatari quotes, if you bring them out, like 60% of the quotes will be of Kaikideshu, because I feel like everything that he says could be quoted down. It's just he has a way with words, like, obviously he is a person who tricks others. You need to have a way with words. He was able to trick a god, so you need to have a way with words if you're trying to trick a god, And yeah, like he's just great. And if you look at him like closely, you can also see, he himself has a few things which are quite like quite interesting. Like, a person of his caliber also has some things that he's also not good with, because as far as I can remember, his main thing was his weakness towards Senjogahara. Like, his weakness because of his guilt towards Senjogahara, and Senjogahara took advantage of that for him to help Araragi, because as obviously these are not spoilers. The Monogatari has come out a way long time ago, so I don't think this counts as spoilers anymore. But during the whole Nadeko incident, when Araragi and Senjogahara was going to die, Senjogahara brought Kaikideshu to trick her and to save their lives somehow. And obviously Kaikideshu is a person who wouldn't do anything for less amount of money. He's a person who tricks others, and he takes a hefty fee for that. But he was able to kind of go low with the amount of money that he took from Senjogahara, because of his guilt towards Senjogahara, which is why I'm saying this, like, even though he's of that caliber, he was able to trick a god, he also have his own few problems that he also faces, and a few things that he's troubled with, which shows that he's also human by the end of it. And yeah, he's a fascinating character, my god. And that's why, like, a lot of people kind of say like the best waifu the best waifu in Monogatari is Kaiki. Like, you must have heard that, like, people who have not watched Monogatari, you must have heard people saying like best waifu of Monogatari series is Kaikideshu. That's why they say that, because he's a fascinating human being, and he definitely deserves the top Husbando tier. So yeah, there you go. And oh boy, I just want Monogatari to come back again so much, man. Like, it's been so long. I really hope they they adapt the extra monster stories or whatever they're called, because I've heard like Shinobu gets like a huge character development there. Like, Shinobu's past, like, we know about Shinobu's past, but a lot of more of her past kind of gets revealed there. I just want that so bad. Like, when I really hope Monogatari comes back. Like, god damn, this being one of the best shows that I just love so much. It's such a shame that it's not getting anything even now. Monogatari is huge in Japan, not only in Japan, here as well, even in the Western community. But why is it not getting anything else after this? Like, I want more of this series. Like, oh boy, like, I really hope Monogatari gets something like, I mean, within 2 to 3 years. I really hope it gets something more. Oh boy, it's been so long. But anyways, yeah. All right, this guy, I don't remember his name, but he's from that show. That show with the two, like, scientists or whatever. Like, they both don't understand the concept of love, but they do both love each other. That type of a, like, situation. I forgot the name of this guy, but I've seen the show. The first season I've seen. I kind of forgot most stuff. Season 2 has also come out. I plan on watching that on my own after watching season 1, rewatching season 1. But yeah, I don't remember much about him, but yeah, he's an okay character. I'll put him in the B tier because, like I said, I don't remember much about him. But yeah, he was fine. Like, he's kind of an entertaining, like, the anime itself had a quite an entertaining, like, premise of, like, how both these two characters don't understand what love is, so that they're scientists, so they always try to find out proof. So love being an abstract thing which doesn't have any proof, they try to kind of, like, prove that love exists by making each other, like, admit, I think, that they like each other or something like that. And they try to prove that love exists, but always fails, because obviously love is an abstract thing. You won't be able to prove with scientific equations. So it's a very entertaining, like, anime as far as I can remember. I've forgotten most stuff, but I do plan on rewatching it and also watching season 2. But yeah, he's the main character of that show. There you go. That's it. Oh boy, my throat is hurting now. At this point, I've been talking for 1.5 hours. So yeah, I'll end it here. There you go, my ultimate husbando list. Like I said, everything is my opinion, and I apologize if there's any character that you love with your heart, but I put them in a lower tier. But just relative to my, like, like my like, perspective and the way I see all these characters, my own preference. That's what this is. But yeah, like, there you go. This is it. So that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. Like I said, it's been a long time after that I'm doing this, more than 1 month. For now, I'm not going to make any, like, tier list announcement or nomination thing, because I want to watch all the animes. I'm still lacking a few animes are still left. I have to watch the previous seasons. After ending those seasonal animes, I'll make a tier list on my own on the seasonal anime that I watched. I'll make a tier list, and after that, I'm again going to start with the nominations. Like I said, I do plan on making a top villain tier list, which I'll do later on. But yeah, before that, I want to make a tier list of the seasonal animes that I've watched. So I'll watch all of them on my own. There's a few seasonal animes that are still left, that I'm still left to watch. It'll probably take 2 or 2.5 weeks, maybe 3 weeks maximum, for me to complete them, and then I'll make a tier list on that. Yeah, there you go. Thank you for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed, comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know, and I'll check them out. And that's it, guys. Let me know your opinion and how you like this tier list. Again, like I said, this is all based on my preference, and yeah. So there you go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.